Hello friends, spends more time watching 30-second meme videos on YouTube than he does with his family here, bringing you another Dota 2 video where I'll be covering the 4 most ridiculously overtuned heroes in 7.28. Number 4, Spiritbreaker. Before 7.28 dropped, Spiritbreaker was trending fairly positively in pro-level pubs. My theory on why this happened is that people started picking other heroes that basically shit out damage completely on their own, like Sven and Leshrac. So, picking heroes like Spiritbreaker that desperately lack damage but do a whole lot of other annoying things became way more viable. Another big reason for this hero starting to get picked is the fact that, especially with an Ags, he has really great lockdown and chase ability for otherwise slippery heroes like Storm, Lifestealer, Jug, and so forth. And in 7.28, this got even better, with his ult cooldown being reduced by 10 seconds. The Aghanim Scepter charge also got buffed, with the bonus move speed being almost doubled. This is extremely significant because the move speed bonus is base move speed, which means all move speed percentages that Spiritbreaker gets from items or his bulldoze ability amplify this, which also amplifies his bash damage. Arguably most importantly though, this hero was blessed with one of the best Ags shards in the game, with the item making his ult instant cast, granting magic immunity during its cast time, adding 200 damage, and applying a 4-second break. To say the least, that is a pretty nice counter to almost every carry in Dota. How do you play Spiritbreaker? Number 1, pick Spiritbreaker as a 3, 4, or 5. Number 2, punch people in lane until you bash them. If you or your laning partner needs regen, teleport back to base and charge back with said regen. 3. Buy an Orb of Corrosion and punch people more. 4. If your game is going well, get Phase Boots. If your game is rough, go Tranquil Boots. If your game is going exceptionally well, get Travels. 5. If you need some early game stats, get an Urn or Drums. If you don't, rush Ags. 6. Charge enemies that show on the map and kill them. Push side lanes that your team doesn't want to go to because your hero is global. 8. Build items that allow you to be extremely tanky and disruptive in teamfights. Blademail, BKB, Silver Edge, these are all great options. How do you counter this hero? 1. Heroes that can purge his W are great because then you won't waste spells on him. Enchantress and Invoker are solid options. 2. Heroes that are hard to catch with charge can make this hero's game way less free. Puck and, once again, Invoker are good options. 3. Mana drains are really annoying for Spiritbreaker because he has a small mana pool but he needs to use his mana. Diffusal Blade Carriers and, once again, Invoker are good options. Basically, pick Invoker. Number 3. Clinks. When I first read the patch notes, I honestly didn't think that much of the Clinks buffs. Pay 1400 gold and get a couple of weak-ass skeletons to tickle people when you break invis? So what? And then I played a game with it. And that little bony bastard was summoning screens worth of skeletons just like he was some sort of Diablo 2 necromancer. For anyone that hasn't had the displeasure of experiencing this hero, the new Egg Shard summons 2 skeleton archers when you leave invis. But Skeleton Walk has a 40-second duration with a 17-second cooldown, meaning that if you hold your invis until it's off cooldown, you can instantly spawn 4 skeletons when you pop out to kill somebody. But the skeletons have a 60-second uptime, meaning that if you're spamming invis, you can have 6 of these bad boys active and chillin' at any given point. And on top of that, as of 7.28, there is a negative 7-second Skeleton Walk cooldown reduction talent, reducing the cooldown to 10 seconds. This means that with the talent, you can have 16 skeletons active at any given point. As if 16 skeletons isn't enough to tickle your fancy, the Ags summons 5 more, bringing the total to 21 skeletons, which do 30% of Clinks' damage each. That equates to 630% of Clinks' damage, not including Clinks himself. Does that sound balanced to you? Me either. So how do you play Clinks? 1. Pick Clinks for mid or safe lane. 2. Start with Fluffy Hat, 2 branches, 2 mangoes, and some tangos. 3. Rush Falcon Blade, max Searing Arrows, and go for extra value points in Strafe to dominate the lane. But make sure that you don't grief yourself by getting invis too late. 4. If you need Disable, get an Orchid. If you need damage, get a Desolator. If you need a lot of items to carry the game, get a Midas. 5. Press Searing Arrows on people in lane. If it's going well, stay there and get your items. If it isn't, go eat a creep and murder someone somewhere else. Clinks does not want to jungle. 6. build raw damage items such as Daedalus, Monkey King Bar, Nullifier, and get a BKB if you absolutely need one to survive. 7. Get Egg Shard after your first damage item, get the Invis talent at level 15, and watch your skeleton bros win the game for you. How do you counter Clinks? 1. Pick heroes that can quickly jump him and kill him when he doesn't have Death Pact, such as Storm Spirit or Spiritbreaker. 2. Pick illusion heroes. Clinks has no good way of clearing illusions, and a Naga Siren or PL can completely nullify his game by just going late. Number 2. Lykan. In Dota 2, depending on the patch, there are 2 possible states of Lykan. State number 1, he's total dog shit. State number 2, he's a dog that makes you eat shit. In 7.28, Lykan is in state 2. This hero is completely overpowered, and in typical Lykan fashion, it feels extremely rough to play against this hero, even if you beat him. In the patch, he received a number of small buffs, including Howl cooldown reduction, Howl mana cost reduction, as well as some miscellaneous talent buffs that are all pretty nice. But the biggest change for Lykan, by far, is the fact that Feral Impulse now affects all of your units anywhere. This is huge for Lykan because it means that if you hypothetically ult and the fight doesn't look so good, you can chase your summons into tier 4s, kill a support, and run your main hero away. Before, if you ran your hero away from your summons, they would immediately become pathetic, and this is no longer the case. On top of this, Lykan's new Egg Shard is just the old Aghanim Scepter, where you summon a wolf with Feral Impulse now on 1 creep wave every single creep spawn. For 1400 gold, keeping one lane always shoved out is actually quite good value, and a lot of pros are picking this up around the 20 to 25 minute mark. How do you play Lykan? 1. Pick Lykan for mid or carry. 2. Start 2 Sage's Masks, Quelling Blade, and Tango. 3. Max out and spam summon wolves with your infinity mana regen, and mass deny and last it with your huge damage advantage. 4. Rush Necro 3 and press ult near tier 1 towers that you want to take after you kill somebody. 5. Get Orb of Corrosion, Treads, Helm Dom into BKB, AC, Abyssal, Nullifier, and other typical beefy boy damage dealer items. Consider an Egg Shard if you are getting triggered by split pushing enemies. 6. Fight near towers with ult, and jungle while pushing lanes with your summons when you don't have ult. How do you counter Lykan? 1. Pick heroes that abuse mass summons like Winter Wyvern or Earthshaker. 2. Pick heroes with extremely reliable AoE lockdown like Puck or Faceless Void. Number 1. Puck. Before 7.28 dropped, Puck was actually starting to trend upward due to his ability to catch all of the popular mids and carries in the patch with ease. And with most heroes not getting nerfed or receiving relatively minor nerfs, largely the same mids and carries are still pretty good. So, Puck is naturally still strong too. But on top of this, Puck received a flurry of ridiculous buffs. These buffs include Agility Gain, which gives Puck armor that he desperately needs, Turn Rate, which matters exponentially more on Puck than most other heroes because Puck is so ridiculously slippery, Orb Damage, where there is a very real argument that this may subtly be the biggest buff to Puck because it means that he can now one-hit creep waves with his QW combo, rather than having to sit there dangerously right-clicking every single creep. Most importantly though, Puck's Aghanim Shard is one of the best in the game, adding 70 damage to Waning Rift, making it knock back by 250 units, which gives Puck a way to break his own coil, and it also reveals wards and invis heroes as well. And remember, Puck has a silence cooldown reduction talent, so this buffed ass ability has nearly 100% uptime. How do you play Puck? 1. Pick Puck in the offlane or mid role. 2. Secure range creeps with Orb and Rush Bottle. 3. Build 2 Null Talismans into Brown Boots. I see most people maxing Q first because of the damage buffs that it received, but evenly leveling Orb and Silence is definitely acceptable versus mobile heroes. 4. If you can fight the enemy team, smoke and press coil on anyone, or just run at them and press coil on anyone. If you can't, nuke out side lanes and TP back to fights that you have a number advantage at. 5. If your team lacks wave clear, get travels and sit in side lanes, only TPing to fights when the enemy team splits. Otherwise, build Blink, Treads, Yules, Ags, and all of these good Puck items. Octarine Core is amazing now that it builds from Ether Lens, and fight every time coil is up. How do you counter Puck? Ground-targeted disables like Underlord's Pit of Malice or Night Stalker's Crippling Fear make Puck far more killable because you can catch him after Phase Shift or Yules. Instant disables like Orchid or Shadow Shaman's Hex let you punish the fact that Puck is incredibly mobile but super squishy. Nyx Assassin. Yeah, literally just Nyx Assassin. This hero makes it incredibly hard for Puck to farm because you can just sit there on a wave, Carapace when he orbs, and then kill Puck. Anyway, that's it for this video. I do want to make a quick note at the end here. As you guys know, I have been making these ongoing jokes about the Hobo Empire, the Flanagans, the ferrets that I've been living with. Obviously, all of that is fun and games, but I have been contacted by a very real individual that is unfortunately named Hobo Flanagan, and he does actually own a ferret farm. And so what's happened is I've been sent a cease and desist order from this young gentleman who's very upset about the jokes that I've been making in my videos, and every single video where I talk about either ferrets, hobos, or Flanagans, it's monetized directly to the Flanagan family. And so I've essentially lost all ad revenue from all of my videos, so your support right now to like, comment, and subscribe is so important for me for the YouTube algorithm because I basically have to build up from scratch due to this Flanagan takeover that has happened. And I'm so sorry to ask you for that, but if you could like, comment, and subscribe one more time, I would really appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I hope to see you in another video.